World War I, also known as the Great War, had been a cruel large-scale battle all over Europe. By 1917, the war had been a continuous series of battles that ended in stalemates. Both sides of the war wanted to put an end to it and win by any means necessary, and so Germany sought for allies in the New World. Germany was aware of the tensions between the US and Mexico after 1848, specifically after the war where Mexico lost part of its territory to the US. Bitterness towards the Americans had been in the minds of the Mexicans ever since the war, and Germany saw this as an opportunity to make allies with the Mexicans and probably put an end to the war, or at least give the Central Powers the upper hand. Arthur Zimmerman, the German State Secretary for Foreign Affairs during the Great War, elaborated a message for at the time Mexican President Venustiano Carranza. In the telegram, it was stated that Germany would help Mexico reconquer the territories of Texas, New Mexico, and Arizona lost against the US. The Germans would also give generous financial support and, in words extracted right out of the deciphered document, make war together and make peace together. The proposals mentioned beforehand were sort of a backup plan, or Plan B. Germany's initial intention was to start unrestricted submarine warfare the 1st of February in order to keep the United States in a neutral status. But if that failed, then they would require Mexico's help. Ironically enough, their Plan B wouldn't have worked either, as Mexico was facing tough times. The country was going through the period of time known as the Revolución Mexicana, where the economical and political structures of the country were chaotic. Hence, the country would have been unable to lend a hand to the Germans in their effort to win the war or at least keep the US out of it. Even though Mexico was unable to help Germany, tensions arose even more between the two North American nations. Even to this day, we can still see proofs of that in the form of barriers across the frontier. Another example of that is the city of Nogales, which was a major border city before the Zimmerman issue, where Americans and Mexicans lived side by side, but after the telegram was discovered, it resulted in a shootout later known as the Battle of Nogales. And that was not it. After 1918, fences, walls and checkpoints kept being erected and built along the border, symbolizing the fear and distrust between the two countries after the Zimmerman event during the Great War, which ultimately caused the US to declare war against Germany.